Alright everybody, video 3 of my channel. I'll probably share this one first, because ultimately it's going to be shorter. Maybe more people will watch it, and it might even be more entertaining for some. So here it is. This is another one of the out-of-box ideas I have. And basically, I'm calling this the rational, logical thinking analyzation of horror movie scenes. Now, I typically get annoyed when people are like talk too much shit about horror films, because they'll be like, they say all this, they're like, well, that would not happen, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And it's like, yeah, it's a horror movie. Like, there's people being murdered by an entity that it can't be stopped, or whatever backstory. So yeah, don't be too amazed when illogical shit happens in horror films. But sometimes these have nothing to do, like the, realistic side of things have nothing to do when I'm analyzing these scenes with any supernatural shit. I mean, some of them will, but this one will not, because this has nothing to do with setting aside, your logical thinking mind, because it's a horror film. It's like, well, obviously that there's not zombies killing people. Like, it's not that. It's just like real world, realistically kind of dumb as fuck. Now, keep in mind, I know I'm a horror fan, so I'm very much aware of just how seriously people take horror films, because I do too a lot of times. And also, this is another Halloween video, and I had, like, as far as the Halloween franchise fan base, people can be real insane about it. I mean, I guess I can too, because it's my favorite shit ever. But just, this is for fun, and you can't tell me it's not dumb. I'm going to be analyzing a scene from easily one of my favorite horror films of all time. It's either my first or second in the franchise of Halloween, depending on what day you ask me, but it's always in the top 2. I love the scene I'm going to be talking about, but when you really think about it, it is really fucking stupid. It's iconic as fuck, but no one really talks about just how fucking stupid it is, and it doesn't make me hate the scene. I love the scene, but it is stupid. So what scene? We're going to be talking about a scene from John Carpenter's 1981 classic, Halloween 2. Now, part of the problem with this scene is when I'm talking, you probably don't even realize what scene I'm talking about, and it's going to be fairly obvious to you immediately. It's iconic, but to those that aren't already picking up what I'm laying down, we're talking about the Ben Tramer scene in Halloween 2. So let's break it down. The scene starts with Sheriff Brackett and Dr. Loomis. They're cruising around Haddonfield trying to find Michael Myers, all the while having a conversation that I'm pretty sure they've had more than once, even though one was all you needed, right? And basically it goes a little something like this. Sheriff Brackett is like, I can't believe you let him out. His own damn doctor. Right? And then Loomis, without fail, is always like, I did not let him out. Right? And it's like, let's pause for a second. Hey, Brackett, I have a question. What the fuck do you even mean by that? Like, the way you said that? It's like, oh, you let him out. Like, Dr. Loomis is like, well, I've been your doctor for the past 15 years, and you haven't made any progress whatsoever, but I think it's time for you to give it another shot. I'm going to sign your release forms. Or, like, are you insinuating that maybe Dr. Loomis, was like, oh, I seem to have forgotten to shut the door, and he has escaped. Is that what you mean by that? Like, I let him get out. I worked with him to let him leave, only so I can go on a cross-country suicide mission, trying to prevent him from killing a bunch of people that he would never have been able to kill if I didn't let him out. What the fuck are you talking about, Brackett? Anyway, so as this is going on, Loomis spots who he thinks is Michael Myers. It's Ben Tramer, by the way. It's not Michael Myers. So I'm going to do a play-by-play and then save the thing that makes it the dumbest, like the dumbest part of it for the end. So let's do it. So Loomis thinks he sees Michael. He gets out of the car and he keeps yelling for Michael to stop. Stop, stop. And then he pulls out his gun and threatens to shoot him, as if there's not, hundreds of children all over the place, just trying to enjoy a good old-fashioned Halloween trick-or-treat session. It's kind of batshit insane to think about, but whatever. So he's threatening to shoot this dude because he's convinced that it's probably Michael. And then Sheriff Brackett does one of the smartest things he's done in any appearance in any of these movies by stopping him from shooting his gun because, yeah, kids and whatnot, they're trying to have fun. But anyway, as this is all going on, Ben Tramer, who is being confused as Michael Myers, he realizes some shit is going on, and he also realizes that this dude's pulling a gun on him at one point, but, like, you know, before the gun part, he's just kind of like, what the fuck is this dude's problem? He's trying to walk away, you know, because he doesn't have any fucking idea who he is. And then he notices a gun, and he's, like, still looking back, and he's like, wow, this guy's pointing a gun at me and threatening my life. I need to escape ASAP. I'm going to go ahead and not sprint or anything like that. I'm just going to briskly do a little bit of a power walk, you know, just pick up the speed ever so slightly. He'll never be able to get me then, right? But anyway, as this is going on, he's periodically looking back, like, what in the fuck is this dude's problem, right? When then, suddenly, out of nowhere, here comes another cop, bursting into the scene at like 112 miles an hour, again, as if there's not hundreds of children out there just trying to enjoy some good old-fashioned trick-or-treating, you know, so here he comes, blazing in here at the speed of fucking light for some reason, right? And, you know, pretty much throwing all caution to the wind. Not only that, like the city speed limits are usually anywhere from 10 to 15 miles an hour, and he's going easily like 10 times that amount on a city street where kids are trying to have fun. But whatever. Anyways, as he's flying into the scene, he smashes into Ben Tramer. They both smash into this van that's horizontally crossed, or like parked in the street for no real actual reason whatsoever, which makes it even more insane when you think about it. You know what I mean? Like, this cop is like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to drive 112 miles per hour directly towards this van that's parked horizontally in the street. I'm not going to hit my brake. I'm not even going to try to swerve. I'm just going to drive directly towards it at neck-breaking speeds. Because that's what he does. So he smashes into Tramer, they smash into the van, and it bursts into flames, right? So, Brackett and Loomis and all the other motherfuckers, they run over there, right? And the cop that did it, he's out like, oh, he came out of nowhere. I didn't see him, he just came out of nowhere. It's like, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like, you know, it's kind of a bummer, because Ben Tramer's not here to share his side of the story. But I'm willing to bet if he could share his side of the story, he would probably tell you that maybe you were the one that came out of nowhere, considering Ben Tramer was just doing an everyday, ordinary thing that people do all the time, every day, for a little bit of time a day, walking, normally. And you're the one that came in here with the fucking insane variable that pretty much just fucking just, you know, what the fuck. You came out of nowhere, basically, is what I'm trying to say here, right? So then Brackett's over here after that, and Loomis is looking at him burning to a crisp, right? And then Brackett's all like, is it him? Is it him, goddammit? Right? It's like, I don't fucking know. Maybe. Like, in case you haven't realized, at no point in this situation did I get to see his face at all whatsoever, so I don't even know what this fucking dude looks like in the real world. And now, currently, he's engulfed in fire, so it's probably going to be even a lot harder to tell you for sure if this is Michael, right? I think we're going to have to do a little bit of work to find out what in the fuck, right? And then we're blessed with one of the worst acted scenes in Halloween franchise history. I mean, dialogue, right? Because the other sheriff dude runs over, and he's like, Sheriff Brackett, there was 3 murders at the Wallace house, right? And he goes, what does that mean? And then they take off, right? So now let's get into, like, all that shit is enough to realize how dumb this is, but it gets even dumber. This is Tarantino style. Let's flash back for just a second. Remember me saying that Dr. Loomis sees this dude, thinks it's Michael Myers, to the point where he's threatening to kill this fucking person, right? Although the two really don't look like each other at all in any way imaginable. They only have like 2 similarities for real. The way the mask looks in the face, just the sculpt, by the way, and maybe the build. That's the only two things that Ben Tramer has in common with Michael Myers, right? So let's just break this down. Number one, the first thing you have to take into account, and you don't even need to hear any more, this is really fucking stupid, but the first thing you should take into account is the fact that Michael Myers and Ben Tramer are, in fact, not dressed the same at all in any way. Ben Tramer is not wearing coveralls. That's a misconception from some people. No, he's wearing a fucking old school 70s style fucking windbreaker that you could probably buy at a Goodwill. And he's just wearing some regular ass people fucking jeans. Right? Not even remotely close to dressing in coveralls, which is what Michael is wearing. Right? This is another reason why it's dumb as fuck. While the face sculpt, you might remember saying the face sculpt was similar or the same. While it is the same, it is not the same color at all as Michael's mask. Because in Halloween 78, Michael's mask is more of a stark white, you know, with some weathering and shit as the movie progresses. And in the second film, it's the same mask. So it's like a little less stark white. It's more like a yellowish color because they didn't put any effort into trying to make it at least kind of look like the same mask, even though it's from the same fucking movie. But that's neither here nor there. In the second movie, he's got more of a yellowish fucking, like, used to be white thing here with the shit going on. It doesn't fucking matter. Either way, neither one of the two things, neither one of those appearances look like Ben Tramer's mask because it's an entirely different color. It's more like a silver, like shiny thing, right? So there's that. And then also, Michael Myers' mask has like an Halloween 78. His hair is like a chocolatey brown, and in the sequel, again, because they put no effort for it to look the same at all, it's more of like an orangish brown because some of the spray paint came out. But much like the face sculpt and the paint and whatnot that I just talked about a second ago, neither one of those things really fucking matter at all because Ben Tramer's hair couldn't look any different than either one of those colors at all, ever, barring any sort of, alternate realm of reality. Because Ben Tramer's mask hair is like some of the brightest, blondest, fucking straight up like 1983 NWA World Champion Ric Flair, bleach as fuck. I've never seen such fucking bleached ass, almost albino, blonde as fuck hair, which couldn't be any different from the brown and orangish brown of the actual mask that Michael Myers is wearing. Not only that, but this mask also has sideburns, which Michael Myers' mask has like negative sideburns for real. Like for real, big time. It's like completely different. And also, Ben Tramer's mask has like, I don't know, 4 tetric fucking tons more fucking hair than Michael Myers' mask. Like Michael's mask, when the hair is messy, it's probably about this long, tops. And it's usually like matted down, so it's more like this. And Ben Tramer's mask, the hair on that is like this. It's like goddamn Don King or some shit. So like pretty much what I'm telling you here is literally not one thing should have been remotely close to convincing anyone, especially, well, absolutely, if they have an idea of, Michael Myers' attributes and clothing and mask and all that stuff. Yeah. It should have never been. How could it possibly be confused with one another? Like, why is Loomis convinced that Ben Tramer is Michael Myers to the point where he's going to shoot him, even though they don't look alike at all whatsoever? Like, what in the fuck would have to happen to convince someone that these were the same people, considering that every single goddamn thing about them is completely different? So yeah, pretty fucking dumb. Later.